Every woman knows how confusing men can be, but what if the secret to making a man fall deeply in love wasn't about beauty, charm, or confidence, but about understanding the hidden stages of his heart? Once you know this secret, you'll never look at love the same way again. What if I told you that the strongest way to truly reach a man's heart isn't your looks, your charm, or even your confidence, but a single line spoken at the right moment? Because once you understand the art of giving gentle compliments, you touch a part of him that almost no one else reaches, and that's when he naturally leans closer without even realizing it. Many people think men don't really need compliments, or worse, that they just brush them aside. But here's the hidden truth. Men are hungry for them, not the loud, dramatic ones, the small, sharp, meaningful ones that go straight inside. A simple remark about how he handled a challenge, the way you point out his effort when nobody else notices, or even a quiet, "I like how you think," when he shares something personal. These little pieces of validation create ripples that grow into waves of attraction. Before I share the exact compliments that make men obsessed, take a second to tap that like button if you've ever thought men are difficult to understand. It helps this message spread to more people, and it ensures you won't miss the next secret I'll reveal. Ladies, have you ever been with a man who seemed totally into you and then suddenly he pulled away? One day he's calling, texting, and giving you all his focus, and the next he's cold, distant, and unreadable. You wonder, what just happened? Did his feelings change overnight? Did you say or do something wrong? Or is there something happening deep inside his mind that you don't see? Here's the reality. Most women aren't aware of this. Men don't fall in love the same way women do. Their emotional path runs through 3 strong stages, and if you miss what happens in stage 2, you can accidentally push him away, even when he was close to committing. This isn't just another surface-level dating tip. This is a real look at male psychology and the hidden switches that make a man choose you, pursue you, and fall deeply in love for the long run. Stay with me because I'm going to show you why so many women misunderstand men's emotional signals, what actually takes place when a man starts feeling vulnerable, the unseen turning point where he secretly decides whether you're the one for him or just another short-lived story. Watch until the very end, because stage 2 is where most relationships collapse, but it's also the place where you can set yourself apart from every other woman he has met. This isn't about tricks or pretending to be someone else. It's about knowing how he thinks, building emotional attraction, and forming such a powerful bond that he can't imagine his future without you. Let's begin. Think about this. Some women seem to effortlessly capture a man's heart, while others, no matter how beautiful, kind, or amazing they are, struggle to get him to truly commit. That's not luck. That's not magic. It's understanding the psychology of how a man truly falls in love. Here's the surprising part. Many people never realize that men don't fall in love in the same way women do. While women usually connect through emotions first, men move through a different mental journey that unfolds in 3 clear stages. And here's where it gets interesting. If you don't know these stages, you might misread his signals, misunderstand his choices, and even damage a relationship that had strong potential. Imagine this. You meet a man who is crazy about you at the start. He can't stop texting, calling, planning dates, and telling you how much he enjoys being with you. Everything feels perfect until suddenly he grows cold and distant. Your gut says something is wrong. You start rethinking your conversations, overanalyzing messages, and asking yourself, what mistake did I make? But the truth is, you probably didn't do anything wrong. What actually happened is simple. He entered stage 2 of falling in love, the stage where men quietly test their own emotions. This is when his fears, doubts, and protective walls rise up. And because most women don't see this stage coming, they react in ways that accidentally push him further away without ever meaning to. Learning these stages isn't just useful, it's life-changing. It allows you to see his choices from his perspective instead of only from yours. You'll finally get why he is warm one moment and distant the next. You'll notice what brings him closer and what makes him pull back. Most importantly, you'll know exactly how to respond at each stage, so you build connection instead of resistance. Women who understand this hold a powerful edge. They don't chase after love, it naturally comes to them. they don't feel lost, stressed, or desperate. Instead, they feel calm, certain, and in control. And instead of losing men they care about, they know how to inspire deep commitment without begging, without games, and without changing who they are. Once you learn what really touches a man's heart, you'll never view dating the same way again. The power to change your love life begins right here, and soon I'll walk you through stage 1, the very start of his love journey, and why it sets the base for everything that follows. You don't want to skip this, because stage 1 is the root of it all. That first spark, that magnetic attraction, that instant when a man looks at you and something inside him lights up. But here's the real truth. Many women don't know this. Men don't fall for someone only because of physical beauty. They fall because of how you make them feel. In this first stage, when he meets you, his mind immediately searches for signals. He notices your energy, the vibe you carry, the way you carry yourself, and yes, your looks. But that's just the doorway. What matters most is if you spark his curiosity. If something about you feels unique, intriguing, or worth exploring, that's when his instincts push him to want to know more. At this point, men are running on emotional excitement. It's not only about attraction, it's about mystery, fun, and the thrilling sense of possibility. When you trigger these emotions, his imagination starts painting a picture of what could happen with you. Not about lifelong commitment yet, but about the exciting potential. That's why men often seem so eager in the beginning, sending messages, calling, planning, showing effort. But this is where many women get it wrong. They assume this early passion means he's already deeply committed. He isn't, not yet. Right now, he's pulled toward you, but his heart hasn't decided if you're the one he wants a true bond with. If you rush things, overgive too soon, or pressure him for clarity, you might break the natural rhythm of attraction, and he won't even understand why he feels turned off. The secret in stage 1 is to balance his energy without chasing after it. Keep a touch of mystery alive. Allow him to enjoy the excitement of slowly discovering you. When he feels like he's earning your time and attention, instead of getting it without effort, it awakens something deep inside him. He values you more. He sees you as special. And here's the twist. Even when everything feels perfect, stage 1 is just the beginning. Because once that first rush of excitement settles, something inside his mind shifts. And this is where most women get caught off guard. It's the moment he steps into stage 2, the stage where his feelings are tested, his fears rise, and his behavior shifts in confusing ways. Stage 1 pulls him in, but stage 2 decides if his heart stays. And in just a moment, I'm going to explain why so many women unknowingly slip at stage 2 and what you should do differently so he grows closer instead of pulling away. This is the stage where the direction of the relationship changes completely. It's the stage that most women never expect, yet it's where everything truly shifts. Stage 2 is the moment when a man starts to question his own emotions. Not because he suddenly doesn't like you, but because the feelings you've stirred in him activate something much deeper inside. If you don't understand this part, it can be the very stage where things begin to break apart. At the beginning, in stage 1, he is thrilled, curious, and pulled toward you. But once stage 2 arrives, his mind moves from being eager to quietly testing. He begins to wonder, is she really what I've been looking for? Can I picture a future with her? Do I feel safe enough to actually open up fully? These aren't conscious decisions he plans out carefully. They are emotional triggers that rise naturally, and because of them, he may suddenly seem distant, distracted, or harder to read. This is exactly why many women start to feel lost and even panic. You pick up on the change in his behavior and immediately assume he's losing interest. Out of fear, you may start texting him more, asking for constant reassurance, or pushing him to share what he's thinking. But here's the difficult truth. The more you chase him in this stage, the more he pulls back. Stage 2 isn't rejection, it's hesitation. It's his natural emotional defense mechanism. Men crave closeness, but fear vulnerability just as much. During this time, he's quietly testing if the bond he feels with you is strong enough to carry him through his doubts. The biggest mistake women often make is reacting emotionally rather than understanding what's truly happening. When you press him him for answers, try to fix the situation, or give too much of yourself in the hope that it will bring him back, it only confirms his fears and makes him think things are moving too fast or feel unbalanced. The real secret to passing through stage 2 is to stay steady and grounded emotionally. Give him space to work through his own feelings without jumping to worst-case scenarios. Remain confident, keep living your own life, maintain your boundaries and show through your actions, not needy words, that you are secure in yourself. When you handle this stage with patience, something powerful happens. His doubts soften, his fears quiet down, and he begins to actually trust what he feels. That trust is what carries him into stage 3, the stage where he doesn't just want you, but makes the choice to truly be with you. Most relationships collapse in stage 2 because neither person fully understands what is taking place. But if you can walk through it with calmness and steady confidence, you build the kind of bond that doesn't just create love, but real commitment. This is the moment where everything changes. Stage 3 is when his heart lines up with his emotions. The doubts, the hesitation, the testing, everything fades as he commits. But reaching this stage is never by accident. It comes from trust, connection, and understanding that were built in the earlier steps. When a man reaches stage 3, he no longer wonders if you're good enough for him. Instead, he starts picturing a life with you. His attraction is no longer just physical. He feels safe, connected, and deeply seen. This is when he lowers his guard and allows himself to be vulnerable in ways he almost never is with anyone else. But here's something many people don't realize. For a man, commitment isn't only about love, it's about certainty. He decides to stay, to give, and to build when he feels 3 things very clearly: that he is accepted for who he is, that the relationship encourages him to become better, and that being with you feels natural, not forced. In stage 3, his behavior shows obvious changes. He begins putting you first. He makes plans that include you in his future. He invites you deeper into his inner world, introducing you to friends, family, and his daily life. You're no longer just part of his present, you become part of his future. And unlike before, his words and actions match consistently. Still, this is also a stage where women sometimes make mistakes without realizing it. They think that once commitment starts, the hard work is over. But the truth is, keeping a deep emotional bond alive requires ongoing care. A man stays fully invested when he feels valued, wanted, and respected. When you continue nurturing the connection instead of taking it for granted, it grows even stronger. Another important thing to understand is that men quietly crave something often overlooked: freedom inside love. When he feels free to be himself, to pursue his goals, to enjoy his own space, and still knows he's loved unconditionally, his attachment to you deepens even more. The more secure he feels, the more he naturally wants to give, to commit, and to remain by your side. Stage 3 is not about tricks, proving your worth, or convincing him to choose you. It's about being your true self and allowing the bond to grow naturally. If you handled stage 1 with confidence and stage 2 with patience, then stage 3 becomes the reward. It's the point where love transforms into trust, where desire grows into devotion, and attraction turns into lasting partnership. This is the stage where strong, lifelong relationships are created, where love is no longer only a passing feeling, but a deliberate choice. And when a man chooses you here, it isn't temporary, it's deliberate, genuine, and powerful enough to last through time. But remember this, reaching this point isn't about changing who you are to fit into his life. It's about understanding his emotional path and moving with it naturally. That's when you stop worrying about whether he will stay and begin to build a bond so solid that he chooses to stay with no doubt. Stage 3 is the place where he stops running from love and starts running toward you. But before we continue further, it's important to bring up something that silently breaks more relationships than almost anything else. These are the small mistakes that slowly push men away. They aren't always loud or obvious, More often, they are small, unnoticed habits that build up over time. The first mistake is giving too much too early. In the beginning, you're excited, you care deeply, and you want to show it. But when you pour too much of your time, energy, and attention before he's emotionally ready, he doesn't feel closer, he feels pressure. Men need to feel that they are choosing you, not being pulled into something before they're ready. The second mistake is chasing reassurance. Maybe he feels a little distant, replies slower than before, or seems distracted. Naturally, you want to know what's wrong, so you begin texting more, calling more, or asking things like, "Do you still care about me?" or "Is something bothering you?" While your intentions come from care, this adds weight. Instead of drawing him in, it makes him step back to get space. The third mistake is trying to manage his emotions. This often shows up in subtle ways, constantly checking in, expecting fast replies, or pushing him to explain himself before he's ready. Men usually need time to sort through their own feelings, especially in stage 2. When they feel boxed in or pressured, their instinct is to retreat. Another common mistake is letting go of your own life. When you make him the center of everything, cancel your own plans, give up your hobbies, or always wait for his attention, he notices it. At first, he may enjoy the closeness, but with time, it starts to create an imbalance. True attraction happens when two whole people come together, not when one person gives up their entire world for the other. Another common mistake is ignoring emotional pacing. Many women believe that if the connection feels strong in the beginning, both people are moving at the same speed emotionally. But here's the truth. Men often fall in love differently. If you try to rush him into labels, commitments, or big declarations before he feels ready, he may start to feel trapped, even if he genuinely likes you. One of the biggest mistakes is not understanding his silence. When a man pulls back for a short time, many women take it too personally and react from fear, by arguing, questioning, or assuming the worst. But often, his quiet moments have nothing to do with losing feelings. It is usually his way of handling emotions, stress, or his own thoughts. If you misunderstand that and answer with panic or doubt, you might accidentally push him further away. The truth is, most men don't take distance because they've stopped caring. They step back because something in the relationship made them feel pressured, not understood, or emotionally unsafe. The answer is not to chase harder. The answer is to keep your balance. Stay calm, stay confident, and continue focusing on your own life. When a man sees that you respect his need for space while still valuing yourself, it naturally draws. And the end, love isn't about chasing, forcing, or proving yourself. It's about understanding the natural stages a man goes through and moving with them instead of against them. When you know how his heart truly works, you stop doubting yourself, you stop overthinking his every move, and you start creating a bond built on trust, respect, and emotional safety. That's when love feels effortless, when he doesn't just stay with you, he chooses you every single day. And remember, the greatest power you have is not in changing yourself for him, but in showing up fully as who you are. Because the right man won't just fall in love with your beauty or your charm. He'll fall in love with your strength, your confidence, and your authenticity. And that is the kind of love that lasts a lifetime.